All right, for number 38, it says what are all and only the values of x that are not in the domain of the function f of x equals this thing. So not in the domain is the same as saying undefined, right? Because not in the domain is like what x, remember that domain is x. And so these are what x is not allowed to be because it's not in the domain. So what are the things that x is not allowed to be? X is not allowed to be something that would make the bottom 0. So denominator is not allowed to be 0. So what would make this equal to 0? Well, it would be -6. And what would make this equal to 0? It would be 8. So it's not allowed to be -6 and +8. So that would be answer choice G. The one they're trying to trick you with is this version by you not remembering to flip the signs. So don't try that. And then this one is by doing the numerator. It's okay if the numerator equals 0. That would just be 0 divided by some number like 6, right? So that's okay because that's just 0. And then these include the numerator. We don't want to include the numerator here. It's just where the denominator equals 0. So that's why your answer is G. All right, for number 39, it says a new band asks its audience to rate the band's performance on a scale from 1, which is poor, through 5, which is excellent. The table below gives the percentage of the audience that gave each of the ratings. To the nearest 0.1, what's the mean rating given by this audience? So if I'm looking here, I can see, okay, basically no one gave them, 0% gave them a 1, so no one thought they were poor. 0% gave them 2, so no one thought they were really bad. And then I can see that 10% gave them a 3, 70% gave them a 4, and 20% gave them a 5. So if there were just a few people in the audience, like one person gave them 3, 7 people gave them a 4, and 5 people gave them a 2. I'm sorry, 2 people gave them a 5. So I might write this as like, there's 1 3 answer, there are 7 4 answers, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and there are 2 5 answers. So basically everyone gave them a 4. So I'm guessing my average is somewhere around 4, maybe D or E. I'm going to cross out these ones. Right? So in order to find the average, the mean, right? The mean means average. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, okay, this would be 3 plus, I'm just going to do 4 times 7 because I don't want to write all those 4s, plus 5 and 5 make 10. That makes 41. That's the same as 3 plus 4 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 plus 5 plus 5. Same 41, just took me a little less time. So 41. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 answers. So I'm going to divide by 10, which you guys can guess is 4.1. My answer is E. Right? I just turned these into things that they could be. Most of the people chose 4, so that's why I have so many 4s here. All right. For 40, it says in triangle DEF, the length of DE is the square root of 60. It doesn't say what kind of triangle it is, so I'm just going to draw a triangle, DEF, and it says DE is square root of 60. And the length of EF is 6. If it can be determined, what is the length in centimeters of DF? So we want to know this. So if they told me this was a right triangle, I could use SOHCAHTOA, or I could just use Pythagorean theorem, right? A squared plus B squared equals C squared. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. But nowhere in this problem do they tell me that it's a right triangle, so I can't use any of those things, right? If they told me it was a different kind of triangle, or if they gave me an angle, right? If they gave me like one of these angles, then I might be able to use law of sines, which some of you guys might know, which is like A over sine A equals B over sine B, right? That one. But they don't tell me any angles, so there's nothing that I can decide here, and none of my sides are the same. So there's nothing I can do in this problem. This is actually one of the rare answers where you cannot determine it from the given information. So their answer is K.